For today's lesson, you are going to need your sketchbook, a pencil, a black marker or crayon, and something to color with like crayons, markers, or colored pencils. Today we are going to be drawing frogs sitting on a pond. So we need to start by drawing the edge of that pond, but draw lightly because you are going to erase a lot of this line. Once I have the lines for my pond in, I'm going to start by drawing my frog. I'm going to draw a curved line up, almost like an oval, but then when I come back down, I'm going to draw straight across instead of finishing that oval. This is going to be the body of my frog. Next, I'm going to add the legs. I'm going to start halfway up on my body, make that kind of curve like I did for the body, and then make 3 toes for my frog's feet. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to repeat that curved line to make the eyes. I'm going to do one on each side. Notice how a lot of my shapes are overlapping the spaces underneath. We are going to erase a lot of these pencil lines once we outline in marker. I added a smile onto my frog's face also. Now I'm going to add a second frog just to help fill in my picture. You could make this frog a little bit smaller or a little bit bigger. You can decide if you want it to look different or it can look the same as the frog you just created. Next, I'm going to add a lily pad for my frog to sit on. So a lily pad is a curved line with this triangle slice cut out of it, kind of like a piece of pizza. So I'm going to do that curved line with that triangle underneath each frog. So my frog is now sitting on a lily pad. I'm going to add some cattails. If you've ever been to a pond, sometimes they have these plants that grow in the water, and at the top they have this brown, kind of velvety, soft top to it that if you pull it apart, it's these soft little pieces that come out. I'm going to add those just to kind of fill up some of that space around my frogs. If the cattail is behind my frog, I can make it overlap. I can stop my line and pick up my pencil and draw it again once it comes out on the other side. Once I'm done with my drawing, I am going to add my black marker. I'm going to trace over all of my pencil lines. I'm starting with the things in the front. So notice that as I trace my body of my frog, I started with those eyes, and then I'm tracing that body. So where my body is behind the eyes are in front, I'm not going to draw that line, even though I did draw it in pencil. I will erase that once I am done tracing everything else. So I'm going to trace my frogs, my lily pad, and then when I get to that line in the back, that's the end of my pond, I want to make sure I don't draw that line through my frogs. I want to make sure that I'm only drawing the line, the part of it that I can actually see. If my frogs are in front, they are going to cover up part of that line. Now I'm going to take my eraser and erase all of my pencil lines. That back line that ends the pond or is the edge of the pond, I'm going to erase that since it is going through my frog and I don't want a line going through my frog. So take your time and erase any of your pencil lines that you can still see. After I have everything outlined, I'm going to color. You can color in your frogs in your picture however you would like. I'm coloring my cattails in brown and my frogs in green. As I was looking at my crayon colors, I really only have a couple greens in my box. So I decided to do one frog light green and one frog dark green, and the same with my lily pads. My dark green frog was sitting on a light green lily pad, and my light green frog was sitting on a dark green lily pad. I took a lot of my blues and I decided to kind of make lines through my water just to add some interest, so it wasn't just one solid color of blue. And I layered those colors in there just to make it look a little bit more like water. When I was thinking about my background, if I'm thinking about the edge of a pond, the plants that are around those frogs are probably what I'm going to see. I'm probably not going to see the sky in this picture because frogs in real life are pretty small. So if I see these frogs and they really look this big, that means I'm really up close to them. And so the grass probably looks really tall also. So I decided to take, again, those greens. I had my dark green and my light green, and then I had a green yellow, and I used those to try to draw some lines in that background to make it look like the pond is surrounded by grass. You could choose to do a different background if you wanted. You could also add more designs or more bugs into your picture too. You could put flies in the sky if you wanted around the frogs, or if there were other bugs that might be in the water or crawling on the cattails, you could add that too. This is your picture. You can be as creative with it as you would like. Once you are finished with your picture, make sure and take a picture of it and upload to Artsonia so your art teacher can see it.